Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bible Rave. Today we are in Genesis chapter 23, and we are going to discuss putting yourself out there. So, here's the scene. Sarah has died at age 127. She just had her baby, I believe, at 100 years old. Abraham just almost killed their son, I think, when he was 16 or 17, and now we're here. And he should be probably, Isaac should be about 27, I believe. Sarah has died. Abraham's alone, and he's like, I've got to bury my wife. When we put ourselves out there in loss of self, it is super scary because all you have is fear. You fear the same pain's going to come. You fear something worse will even make its way into your life. But the truth is that sometimes we have to just believe that God is before our footsteps. So in this situation, Abraham isn't even in his homeland. He's in the land of the Hittites. I don't quite know the relationship of the Hittites with the people that Abraham came from, but it seems pretty peaceful because in this point where he's trying to find Sarah a burial ground, the people say, "We will give you a site." And Abraham's like, well, I'm just trying to buy one. And they said, no, we know God's with you. We will give it to you. So to some extent, you have to understand that they respect him. They respect the fact they know God's with him and they know God's powerful. And Abraham's like, no, I just want to pay. He's putting himself out there. He's like, I just want to do the right thing. And the people are like, no, no, it's okay. Let's do it this way. He said, okay, fine. If this is what y'all want, I'll do it your way. I would like this cave on this property. And he said, the guy's name was Ephron who owned it. He said, go talk to him, please, for me and see if he will let me have it. Well, so happens that Ephron was actually in the crowd. He says, Abraham, you can have it. He said, you can have all the land that goes with it, the cave, everything. Abraham's like, I just want to pay for this stuff. And he said, I mean, what is 400 silver shekels between us? Abraham said, great. He gave me a number. So he pays for it and he goes and he takes over all of that land. He puts himself out there, being told again and again, hey, doing the right thing isn't necessary. Hey, being, open and honest, I guess, about what you're trying to do isn't necessary. We believe you. We're behind you. I kind of relate this to people who are not actually for you, people who are trying to instigate situations where you're not being your best you. Yeah, we're behind you, whatever, just do it. It's good. A lot of the times when we want to do good, I find there are actually a lot of barriers. So we want to say, someone says something mean to us and we want to say something back. But then there's the barrier of entry because do we snap back and maybe lose who we are? Do we come back with a nice comment and maybe feel in an ego-based way that we have lost our power in this situation? Do we just not say anything? And it seems sometimes that when it comes to putting things out there, people who are sometimes the harshest, maybe not actually correct, they're the ones who are just throwing their voice out into the world because maybe they don't understand the depth of life and death is in the tongue. Your tongue creates. Abraham knew it. Abraham was a very, very true follower of God. And I have to believe that he understood doing the right thing, putting yourself out there, even with the objections, even with the people saying you're wrong, like you don't have to do all this. He knew it was necessary not only to honor himself, but to honor his wife. And sometimes, as we all know, getting free things aren't good situations. Getting free things isn't the best situation because then all of a sudden it's, well, I did this for you. You can't do this for me. And now you end up in a situation where you don't want to do it. You know it's wrong, but you feel almost obliged to do it based on the fact that someone okey doked you into saying, I'm doing something nice for you, and then takes it back and puts a stigma or a circumstance on it. When you put yourself out there, just like Abram, there is no real circumstance because you're opening yourself up to rejection, criticism, hatred, and even love. And see, with loss of self, we fear those things because we're still holding on to what small value we see in ourselves, either on a subconscious or conscious level. It's important to know that sometimes it's better to put yourself out there to find out that it was going to turn out better than you thought than to hold yourself back in that fear and then just miss out on the bigger picture. It's just hard. I'll say, like I said, people who shouldn't speak, they speak too much, and people who should speak don't speak enough. But in the case of Abraham, Ephron got him land, he gave him a price, Abraham bought it, he buried his wife. And you know what the next thing he does is? He says, my lineage just has to carry on. So after he put himself out there, he was told, don't worry about doing the right thing. He did the right thing. He then says, he doesn't say, I gotta rest. He says, Sarah can rest. She's already dead. I need to find my son a wife. And that's the next thing. And sometimes also when we're putting ourselves out there, whatever happens, we just gotta roll with it. We can't sit back and say, oh, what if, or I hope they're not upset. Sometimes we have to have that bold infusion to say, what's next? What I grab my hair. What's next? What is going to be the best movement? And for Abraham, it's finding Isaac, the son that he had with Sarah, the one that God said would be the like father. Well, he said Abraham would be the father of many nations, but it's coming through Isaac. And then remember, Abraham also has the son Hagar, excuse me, the wife or concubine Hagar, who had his other son, first son, Ishmael. And Ishmael is the one that God said, hey, he's still going to be just as great in nations. What some people don't know is that Ishmael is actually supposed to be the descendant of Muhammad who created Islam. And so a lot of, if I have this correct, Islam people have a monotheistic belief in God because it's based off Abrahamic traditions, because it was his father. And Hagar was an Egyptian. So it was like this merging and moving forward. Whereas with Sarah, it's Judaism or belief monotheistic and moving forward in that direction. And so the story actually continues more. Well, not more, but it continues in that direction. And so now he's going to find his son a wife from his family lineage to create and move on. Sometimes in death, when you put things out there, it's either going to live or it's going to die. And it can be just through the form of rejection, right? So you do a big project, you pitch it, you put it out there, right? You pitch it, and then the person says, I don't like it. You're like, oh, okay, what do I do now? Well, you know what? You bury it and you do the next best thing. Because just because it's dead doesn't mean it's ended. It just means it's a slight redirection. I am so thrilled that you were here today. I really hope you watch another video. The Bible Rave is to help you get through the Bible itself. And so if you're wondering what I'm reading today, it is the Hebrew English Tanakh. And it actually, if my camera will clarify, which it doesn't look like it will, it has the Hebrew in it. So I look forward to speaking. Please subscribe to the channel, and I will look forward to talking to you next time.